Tired old queen at the movies, tired old queen at the movies, tired old queen at the movies with Steve Hayes and Johnny. That's me. You guessed it, we're doing a musical this week. So let's go head on over to Steve's and find out what it is.
Oh, Johnny. Johnny, I wanted to do a musical, and so I decided to do one of my favorite musicals of all time. Mervyn Leroy's film version of Julie Stein and Stephen Sondheim's Gypsy, based on the memoirs of Gypsy Rose Lee. Now, this was a book first, and Gypsy Rose Lee wrote about her life in vaudeville, and which ended up as a child star and ended up in burlesque. It was a huge, huge hit on Broadway with Ethel Merman. It was written specifically for Ethel Merman.
That lucky star I talk about is blue.
So anyway, it was a big, big hit. Now, when they went to cast the movie, many, many times, as everybody knows, the stars of the Broadway stage do not get their big hits. And Rosalind Russell was married to a guy named Freddie Brisson, who was a big, big agent, and he bought it outright for her. And Ethel Merman always referred to him as Roz's husband as the Lizard of Roz. That's the only reason she got this show. The Lizard of Roz bought that thing for her.
I'm the electricity. I was always the electricity. Who do you think made the act? I made it. And I can make it again, and I will. I swear I will.
So Rosalind Russell went in to do this. Now, they hired Natalie Wood to play young Gypsy. And Natalie Wood had always wanted to sing. She always wanted to be in musicals. They had dubbed her in West Side Story. She was not very happy about that. And fortunately, she got to do most of her own singing in Gypsy.
A real good time.
But Roz was another story. Roz had won a Tony Award in Wonderful Town, which was an adaptation of a movie she had done called My Sister Eileen in the early 40s. And she did all right. She even did a live TV version of Wonderful Town, and she picked up the Tony. So she figured that she was going to end up singing this.
You'll be swell. You'll be great. Gonna have the whole world on a plate.
And she couldn't.
I'm not an old workhorse you can turn out to pasture just because you think you're riding high on your own.
So what they did was that they hired Lisa Kirk, who was a famous Broadway actress who had done Too Darn Hot and Kiss Me Kate, and she had done a lot of hits. And she came in and they lowered the keys for her, and what she did was fill in for Rosalind for the top notes. So it's a pretty good blend of Roz and Lisa Kirk singing this.
Honey, everything's coming up roses.
And it's essentially about a driving, ruthless show business mother who wants her two daughters to have the career that she always wanted for herself. And she starts out with June Havoc, who was baby June, who was the sister of Gypsy Rose Lee, who was a natural child actress, and who finally just has had it being a vaudeville star and bolts. And they turn to Gypsy, or Louise, who is the older daughter, and she really doesn't have much talent. And she has a really, really hard time until finally they hit burlesque. And just by a fluke, she has to go on, and she proves that she has talent for something, and she developed into a very famous stripper.
Mama? I'm pretty. I'm a pretty girl, Mama.
Natalie Wood was one of those actresses who, when she was inspired, nobody could touch her. A lot of times when she didn't have a director who kind of brought things out in her, she could kind of glide through. But when she was inspired, when she really wanted to turn it on, nobody was as sharp or as just dynamic as she was. She was a real star.
Look where I'm going. I'm not staying in burlesque. I'm moving. Maybe up, maybe down. But wherever it is, I'm enjoying it. I'm having the time of my life.
And it not only showed Gypsy, the character's transformation into a star, but Natalie's into a bankable Hollywood sexy young actress.
Because for the first time, it is my life, and I love it. I love every second of it, and I'll be damned if you're gonna take it away from me.
It also has the incredible Faith Dane, who plays Miss Mazeppa, who played it in the original production. She's got a voice like a foghorn. This woman, something wrong with stripping? I mean, this woman has a voice that can peel wallpaper, and her scenes are absolutely hysterical.
And one more disparaging remark about my ballet will find his bugle right in your leg.
Just for me, the quintessential showbiz story and one of the great musicals of all time. Rosalind Russell, Natalie Wood, Karl Malden in Mervyn Leroy's adaptation of Gypsy. Strip.
Let's all go.
Hi, tired old queen at the movies. Ah! And I didn't dub myself. But we're doing another edition of Tired Old Queen at the Movies Live called Movie Stars Sing It Last at the Dixon Place Hot Festival on August 6th at 7:30. The information is listed below. My guest will be the wonderful Mr. Mark Milano, who has put together and re-edited some of the most famous stars who were dubbed in movie musicals and are finally getting a chance to sing their own songs in their own voice at last. So don't miss it. It promises to be a super evening. Directed by Tweed veteran Kevin Maloney.
The popcorn can't be beat.